Aura seer is an information role that checks a player each night, seeing if the player is unknown, good, or evil. Players with an evil aura belongs to the werewolves, while player with good aura belongs to the village. And since aura is an easily faked informer, be ready to see lots of people claiming aura in your game. First thing is that you have to say your information in the beginning of each day. This will give you credibility to what information you have and confirm the other player if you found them good. If you find good player, leave them. If you find evil, try to get them lynched. If you find unknown, leave them alone unless most of the good unknown died. First thing is delaying your information. Do not delay your information ever. Always say your information at the beginning of each day. This will give you credibility as an aura, and if you delay your information, someone else may claim aura and steal your credibility as the only aura claim. Now, not that good aura won't always mean villager. An evil aura doesn't always mean werewolf. These roles appear good, but they are not villager. They are the werewolf fan, instigator, cupid, sorcerer, and wolf trickster if it ever tricks a villager. So look at the roles to see if these roles exist. Second result is that your results may be altered after you check the player, or if the player you checked had their results altered. Example of this is conversion from bandit, zombie, cursed, grave robber, and kitten wolf, as they can actually alter the results of the player after you check them or when you check them. So consider this: what are the odds of the player I checked to be converted? Is the player I found good a converted cursed? Do I need to recheck the player based on my suspicion? And is the player converted mayor or converted vigilante? About results altering, if a player was converted by a bandit or a zombie, they appear as unknown. So if they actually appeared as good, they appeared as unknown next check, then they are converted. If a player was converted by cursed or converted by kitten wolf, then they appear as evil. If a player is acting out suspicion and not acting like an average villager and voting with the werewolves, then it's best to check them. When grave robber appears as their target's aura if their target dies, however they appear as good. So maybe check a grave robber claim. Now, two roles can alter your results, which are the wolf shaman and the illusionist. They completely alter another player's results, so beware of that. Now, wolf shaman makes another player appear as evil, while illusionist makes another player appear as unknown. Think about this: what are the odds of a wolf shaman and illusionist being in game and the player having results altered? Now look at the role list to see if there's a wolf shaman or an illusionist. If they use shaman or disguise as an excuse, it's probably best to push them unless they have credibility or claims when you check them. Now, the longer the game, the more believable a player being disguised or enchanted can be, as it's probably best to think like that than if we didn't even know there was a shaman or an illusionist in game.
Interesting facts, but I don't know who to check. Do you have any better idea on who to check?
As an informer, you need to have a better idea on who to check, so here are some things to help. Number 1. Check an unconfirmed / non-claimer or silent player. These players are most likely going to be unconfirmed players, and they might be werewolves since silent brings suspicions and they don't really contribute the most, and it's your job to confirm them. Number 2. Check a player who hasn't been voting evil, weren't voting with the villager, or were voting with evil, since this most likely indicate that they aren't voting their teammate or they're just they're not villagers. However, if it's a throwing villager that is voting with evil, there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. There's two counterclaim of fixed role. Best to check one of them for confirmation. This may confirm a villager, and it may get an evil out. However, and don't check your counterclaim. For some reason, it seems suspicious to the village, which I honestly forgot to say that earlier. Well, you checked an unknown aura. Well, don't push them. Now, earlier in the game, there is good unknown roles such as medium, gunner, jailer, etc. So if you check an unknown Knight 1, it's best not to push them and leave them alone. However, later in the game, you have a better excuse on how to lynch with unknown, or if all or most of the good unknown are dead, or there is no room for a good unknown, then it's probably best to lynch the unknown player. If the player appears as unknown but claims a good aura role, it's probably best to push them. However, it's possible there may be a role like medium that is fake claiming, or a disguised player. Though the earlier the game, the more believable the unknown player might be, and the longer the game goes, the more things that will be clear to whether the unknown player is good or not. However, depending on your game mode, the good unknown may be believable or not. Sandbox or a quick game, it may be believable, however, it's iffy. In ranked, it's not believable. Anyway, that's the end of the guide. Thanks for watching it, and if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and comment any tips you would like the viewer to know, or comment on the guide. If you like the overall content, why not subscribe?